Hi, it's Nicola at Forever Young Autobiographies and welcome. Today we're doing a book review, Eggshell Skull by Bri Lee, and I have a free gift for you, so stay with me if you're starting your autobiography or memoir. I'll go into more details later. If you haven't come across Forever Young Autobiographies before, it's all about learning how to write life stories for family and friends so that unique memories can live on. I'd love for you to follow, subscribe and like the show. Now, Eggshell Skull. I've been wanting to read this Allen and Unwin memoir for a good while now. It came out in 2018 and it has been winning award after award. So it has been on my reading list at the top. And also, it's also been on my list because some of the places that Lee mentions and writes about in the book I've worked in or lived at, and also some of the courthouses that she describes and the cases that she goes into, the trials and cases she goes into in the memoir. I have I'm familiar with them, having worked in newspapers in Queensland for many years. So that had my curiosity at the very beginning, but I thought I'd just go over a little bit about what the book is to start with. It's a memoir about basically about a 3-year period where Lee is graduated from law school and she takes a prestigious job as a judge's associate and goes on circuit around the state. And it becomes pretty clear almost from the very first day that the majority of cases that she'll be working on or around are to do with sex offenders or sex offences, mostly with women and children. So pretty confronting topics here, but the last half of the book, first of all, we go behind the scenes, we hear all about these trials and cases, and then the last stage of the book is when Lee finishes this year and she starts the difficult journey through the justice system herself of coming face to face with her own abuser in a court setting. So really amazing topics here for a book. So that's a little bit about what it is, what it covers. But the thing that really interests me with this book, as writers of autobiographies, memoirs, biography and other life story projects, is that we can learn a lot from her own writing. And things I'd like to draw your attention to as probably number one is Lee has a really great way of describing emotions and feelings in her writing. She lists positive emotions and negative, but she doesn't just say, oh, I'm feeling happy, sad. She goes into, there's layers to these emotions and she details how they change over time. She does that really, really well. So as fellow writers, we can learn a lot from that. The other point for, lessons from this writing is she is great at describing details and settings. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of confronting material in this book just by its nature, but she describes, quintessential Australian sort of natural settings and animals. They these quiet pools in amongst all this hard-hitting information. I think she does that just beautifully. But probably the most important thing we can take away from Lee's work is how she tells the truth. There is so much truth here. It's so powerful and strong, and it is essential for this kind of work to be truthful. She doesn't apologise for it. It's just really amazing how she puts it all there on the page. And I think if you're just going to read it for that alone, you'll get so much out of for your own writing. Now, just to follow up why she wrote this book, having a strong why is essential when you're starting a writing project, and I think she's got a few really strong whys. She doesn't explicitly say in the book, but I think doing this kind of project would be cathartic, for helping her process these dark times of her own life. But she definitely does say that this book is important because it shines a light on sex offence and how it's a broader story of women and the law. And she's trying to bring that into the spotlight. And the third reason is she talks a lot about other women out there who haven't perhaps come forward or have been victims of sex abuse. So she writes a lot for her and saying that, look, you're not alone. It's not your fault, and almost like here's a helping hand to come along that process, a bit like what she's done. So I think they're really, really important whys, and just a reminder too that as writers we do need those. So there's just a short overview of Eggshell Skull by Bri Lee. We just talked about what it is about, what we can learn from it, and a bit about why she wrote the book. Now, I've got a lot more about this review over on my website, which is foreveryoungautobiographies.com/Bri Lee, BRILEE, and you'll find all the information and links there. And also there's a link to Lee's new book, Beauty, which is out, I think, early November. So if you get into Eggshell Skull, look out for the new one as well. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. While you're over at the website, leave me a comment. Are you going to read Eggshell Skull? Have you read it? What did you think? And perhaps you've got another book you'd like me to review. Let me know. Now, I mentioned a free gift earlier, which is the Structure Success free training. Now, you can sign up for that. It's a short video training where we make an outline for your book of writing points for each chapter. And this is a great way to just get started. It's a rough outline, but just gives you something to aim for and motivation to get going. So sign up for that either at the website or there'll be details here for you. So it's completely free. And while we're talking about it, I'd love for you to follow, subscribe, and like Forever Young, because I'll be back again soon with a new topic. So until then, happy writing and happy reading.